Hello! Today we have an excellent video. We have a definitive build guide for the Forbidden Rite. Right now I'm struggling to get the correct items and I have been working with what I have. I have been using Scepter, Shield. I have just a Tabula right now. I still don't have my correct corruption. I got one curse enemies with vulnerability on hit, but I really want the despair one. And the gimmicks that we are going to be using for this build to work, it's very destructive. You can see here I can even kill myself, my hideout, uh, if I'm not, I don't know, careful. I was using Life Leech for a long time, and you really have to land the hits on the enemies. If you don't land, you are going to kill yourself with this skill. And I am still using Life Tap. This is a budget option, that's not the most effective option in the life-based version. Right now, my gimmick is to have the Barracks Grip, which we can have this mod here. Damage Leech as life against shocked enemies. And we are shocking the enemies using skitter bots here. This frees space for one more support gem because we can put aside the life leech supports, and in this case I'm using Control's Destruction. So the enemies really are dying very fast. In the early maps here I'm going very slowly because I'm testing and the theory crafting finally could be done, because in this morning at dawn they released the path of building with the information of the gems, which takes us to your objective when you are going to be building around Forbidden Rite, which is to get you 7,290,952 damage with this build. This is just incredible. How do we obtain that? We are going crit. We need to have, of course, that's the occultist with double curse. Here we are going to be using a very defensive setup. We are going to be using here Flesh and Stone and Enlighten to in Blasphemy together with the Despair from the corrupted gloves here. But also we are going to go crit, as much crit as possible from the passive tree here. You can see that I have crit in many of the nodes here. We have crit from one side to the other of the tree, together with some AoE and a lot of life that will be enhanced by the Chaos Hearts that we equipped here, so that we can have a good buffer for the Soul Tether to really make the build work. So the mechanics of the build consists in obtaining Zerf's Heart, which is very hard to obtain in the beginning of the leagues, which has this mod here. Chaos damage can ignite, chill, and shock, and gain Soul Eater for 20 seconds when you use a Veil skill. This is not even accounted in the DPS here. It's really not accounted. This is completely outside, of course, and we have additional Chaos damage, which applies to all damage, attacks, or spells. This is a great way of obtaining your damage from. And with that, we are going to be making use of Soul Tether, Valakut's Sign to have the leech from this. It's not Barracks Grip, it's Valakut's Sign because it's 40% increased damage with Gis against shocked enemies. And with that we have 5 flasks here, of course for the theorycraft, but very hard to obtain too. Dying Sun for extra projectiles, Doedris Elixir for the charges that you are not obtaining in boss fights, Bottled Fate so that you can really step on consecrated grounds, Cinder Swallow Urn for the new mod of 9% increased damage against enemies that are ignited, and Rotgut for the onslaught. Apart from that, you need to seek some mods in the items. Of course, this damage here is virtually unobtainable because I produced this staff here that is valuable 10 mirrors or something. This staff has +4 to the socketed gems, of it 20% increased cast speed, 164% spell damage. Socketed skill deal 20% more spell damage, and we have gain power charge on crits and cast speed if you've killed recently. So the more mods of this staff that you can get in your staff, the better. Also we have here on the helmets we have kills damage to spells, with the hunter helmet, and we have nearby enemies have minus 12% to kills resistance. In the gloves, we have the corruption, very important. Curse enemies with despair on hit with 44% increased effect, and we have frenzy charge on kill and onslaught for 4 seconds on kill too. For the boots, we have here endurance charge and basically resists life and even some ward here. The ring, we have here chaos damage leech as life, because we really have to get that cap very fast as much as possible. Resists life and some spell damage if you get a Crusader Vermilion ring too. And for the sockets here, for the jewels, the best jewel for this build is the Hypnotic Eye Jewel, so that you can get chaos damage to spells, life, chaos damage to spells while wielding a two-handed weapons, and even some resist here. I put 3 copies of the same item. So those are the items to obtain this DPS. Of course, this DPS is not going to be easily obtainable, but as much as the 3 that you can copy from here and the items, you are going to be close to this DPS. Easily obtainable, more than 1 million, as long as you farm and you obtain the correct items and you make the correct builds and you are hitting the enemies, you are well positioned and you are alive, of course. This is hardcore viable because we have a balance of defense and damage. When you are inflicting too much damage, you really can lighten a bit in the defense because that enemies cannot hit you, cannot kill you. So that was my guide for this, from the first theorycraft until here. It was a great journey. I hope that you have enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, comment. This really helps me. The YouTube algorithm really enjoys this, and I too. Thank you for all the support, and I see you in the next build.